Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to be sharing all the layouts that I made in January 2025. And can you believe I made 19 layouts? Now some of these have process videos, and if they do, I will leave them linked down below in the description box. But some of these I've posted on either my Facebook or my Instagram. So if you don't already follow me on those platforms, I'll leave those platforms listed down below, and I would love for you to follow me there as well. All right, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at these 19 layouts. Okay, for this first layout, this is one that I made for Pear Tree cut files, and I used this Hello 2025 cut file, and I did something a little different. I dipped the cut file in some clear embossing ink, and then I sprinkled some gold embossing powder on there and set that, and I really like the way that turned out. This one does not have a process video. I used the paper collection from Reminiscence, and it was called Cheers to You. I used some Shimmers paints, and then at the bottom I used some Love from Lizzie peel-offs, both at the top and the bottom. So I think this one turned out super cute, and it was great to document our New Year's Eve, which we went to have Chinese. Nothing real fancy. Now this one, it's really similar. I did the same paper pack from Reminiscence, and I even did pretty much the same layout, but for my daughter, I scrapbook in 8.5 by 11, so I wanted to capture her New Year's as well. And I used a different cut file, and I think this one was from Pear Tree cut files as well, but I'm not positive. So this one turned out super cute as well. Now this one I created with a free cut file from My Creative Scrapbook. And this layout uses paper from the My Creative Scrapbook December main kit. And I also documented a few more pictures for my daughter's 8.5 by 11 book. And they had went to get some of those Lotus drinks. And so I thought it was kind of cute to use the little, even though they're champagne glasses, to document them going to get those drinks. So this one turned out really cute as well. I believe that's a Vicky Bouton collection that came in that kit. This one is one of my favorites. And this one, I used the limited edition kit from My Creative Scrapbook. And this one was filled with Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Fresh Snow. I absolutely love that collection. These are pictures of my daughter, Tatum, just out in the snow. We received a big snowstorm. And so I think this turned out really pretty. I don't believe this has a process video, but I was really excited to use this kit. In fact, this next page that I'm going to show you is also used from that same Simple Vintage Fresh Snow from Simple Stories. And on this next one, let me bring it in here. I used lots of Shimmers paints in the background. And you can see for this snowflake, I cut that out of some of that glossy cardstock from scrapbook.com. And I think that really made a difference on the snowflake. You can see I used a title here, that Freaking Freezing. That's from Color Cast Designs. And I was glad to incorporate that into my layout. And I love this picture of Dale and I. We went outside in the snow. I made some snow angels, and we got so much snow. So it was just a lot of fun to take some pictures outside. I love the My Creative Scrapbook limited edition kits because they come with these flowers. And I just think this one turned out really, really pretty. So that's a look at that one. Now for my next layout, I created this one for P13 Paper Products, and I am on their design team now, and I'm so excited to be on their design team. I used the Love Stories collection to document this picture of Dale and I used some Shimmers paints. And I think this page is really pretty. It's got some of those, it's got some paper flowers, and then it's also got, you can see the paper flowers, but I also used some gold thread on here for some tangled thread. I love the dimension that's on their little chipboard embellishments. And what I did with this one is I used their smaller 6x6 paper pad, and I just cut the papers down into squares and then cut those down into triangles to make this floral pattern design, or this heart pattern design, and I just think it turned out really, really pretty. So this was another one that I really liked. Now this layout was my very first P13 Paper Products design team project. I was really nervous to create it. You know, it was my first one. I wanted to do good. I used some photos from one of our family photo shoots from last year, and I put a lot of dimension on here. I've got some florals that I brought in. I used some Shimmers paints and some inks to ink up those mushrooms, and I used arch dome die to cut out our photos just for something different. I have lots of different torn paper layers on here. So I think this one just has a lot of texture and dimension, and I was really happy with the way that this one turned out. It's something really different, I think, as far as my style. I was trying to venture out a little bit and do something different, and it turned out really pretty. It does not have a process video. Now, this next one, my friends and I get together on the second Friday of every month. We have a YouTube hop, and I can't remember our theme, but we do follow a sketch. And I actually chose the sketch on this one. Oh, the theme was friends. I remember now. I chose that one. And I had these photos of my friend Angie that came to visit us. She lives in Texas. And these were taken in the Mexican restaurant. Can you believe that? Usually, you know, in the Mexican restaurant, the photos are really bright and colorful, and I toned them down by printing them in black and white. This is using that Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Love Story collection, and I use some acrylic pieces. My title piece is from Pear Tree Cut Files. Of course, I've got Shimmers paints in the background in that rose gold red. So that turned out really, really pretty. So be sure, if you don't already tune in on the second Friday of the month, tune in to see our hop. Okay, this next one I did for Simple Story Saturday. And for this one, I used the Simple Vintage 'Tis the Season and Simple Vintage Yuletide papers. And on the bottom here on this Christmas jammies, the word jammies, I had pulled out an old stamp set and cut or stamped those letters and then cut them out with a hole punch. And then I went on my Cricut and found a cut file for this bow. And I used some Shimmers Gold Digger on here. I used some Spectrum Noir metallic paint markers. This one does have a process video, and this is documenting picture of my daughter Tatum and her friend Lizzie. I bought them some matching jammies for our Christmas little weekend getaway, and so I think this one turned out really cute. They look so cute in those jammies, and I couldn't help but use that paper that had the bows on it with them in their bow pajamas. Now this next layout I did as part of a YouTube hop from Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, and our theme for this hop was to use some fibers and ribbons and pom-poms, and so I decided to add some ribbon up there to those tags. Now Color Rush Studio sponsored our hop, and so they had a big giveaway, and so I decided to use one of their paper packs. So this is their Old Soul paper pack, and these photos are really fun for me to document. Dale and I had went on a trip to Galena, Illinois, and we went in this meat and cheese sandwich shop, and they had tastings of vinegar and oil. And so I don't even know how many shots of vinegar and oil we did, but I won't tell you what happens if you drink too much vinegar and oil. I guess you can maybe figure that out, but it was definitely an interesting experience, and I thought this page turned out really, really pretty. I love the florals on the bottom. Now on this layout, I used the Simple Stories Front Porch collection, and I actually won this collection from a giveaway from Simple Stories. Look at the dimension. I used quite a bit of ephemera and just popped that up. And this photo is really fun. This is a picture of Dale standing on the front porch. We went to tour the Ulysses Grant house, and there's a photo of him in that house just like this. And so Dale wanted his photo on the front porch like this. So we actually had to go back the next day after we toured it when they were closed before they were open so that we could get the shot, because it was just filled with people. The lines were really long to tour this house. But when I saw this paper, the front porch collection, it just reminded me of all the old and vintage items that were in the house. So I like this one. Now this next layout, I do have a process video for it, and this is one I made for Pear Tree cut files. I used the My Kind of Fun cut file, and I really sized it down smaller. I used a lot of mixed media from Shimmers paints in the background, and I love all this ephemera on here. The paper and collection I used is Simple Stories Retro Summer Collection, and this is a picture of my oldest son Logan and my daughter Tatum. We had went to a pool party at my dad's house, and his yard and his pool is always so pretty, so it makes for nice photos. But I love these photos of Tatum and Logan just having fun and smiling, and so I thought this design was really cool to showcase all those beautiful stickers that are in the collection, and they all just went so well, and all those little wordy bits too. So this one's really pretty. Okay, for this next one, I made this one for Tracy Reed Designs for their design team. It does not have a process video. I used an acrylic title, I believe, from Pear Tree Cut Files, and I did some stitching. So everything from Tracy Reed Designs is digital, and you print it yourself. And so I printed out several of her different 3x4 pocket cards, and I printed them all out, and that way I had a good variety. And then I used a circle die and cut all of these out, added the stitching, added some mixed media to the background. This is a really old photo of my oldest Logan and then my daughter Tatum reading books, and I hadn't documented it, and it's just such a sweet photo. When I saw the Bookish collection come out from Tracy Reed, I knew that I had to document this photo and this memory. So I like the way this one turned out well. The stitching added a lot, I think, to the layout. This next one I also made for Tracy Reed Designs for her Bookish release that came out in January, and I really like these digital images. So these frames here that I have around my photos I sized them down to have a photo fit inside, and these flowers are from her digital images as well, and you just drag them into Cricut and print them and it cuts it, but they look so real. Those are just pictures of flowers, but they look really real. And then I like the little candle in the bottom, that little ephemera piece. It says smells like old books. And this is a picture of Dale and I when we go to St. Charles, Missouri. We love going in all of their little shops, and so we took a couple of photos. We were looking at some books, and I know Dale found an interesting book on this trip, so I wanted to document that memory. Here's another one from Tracy Reed Designs for her Bookish release. And this is this one I believe it has a process video, but during the holidays, Tim Wildsmith gives away Bibles through his YouTube giveaway. And each night, Dale and I would watch and comment to enter, and I won. So I was so excited to win the Bible, but even more excited was Dale because he really wanted to win. So I gave it to him for Christmas, and so that's what this layout is about, is him receiving the Bible from me. And you could see his little cat Garfield there was like excited to look at the book, had to see what was going on. So these are super cute photos, and I was happy to get this memory documented. And the Bookish collection was really neat. I added some mixed media and some stamping to the background, so I like the way that this one turned out as well. I will leave links down below to all the process videos that I have. This layout was for Tracy Reed Designs, and this was her oldie but goodie, I believe. She has an oldie but goodie post, and I had went in and found this collection. I apologize, I can't remember the name of it offhand. I used this title here from Color Cast Designs, and I loved all of the phrases on the sticker, so I decided to just make like a sticker collage on that left-hand side. The glitter paper I used here was from Stampin' Up!, and this was just documenting some photos of me in the gym on January 1st, or a starting place for January 1st. I said I was going to do better about working out this year, and so far January's been a flop, so maybe I'll start over with February. But I do like the way that this layout turned out, and it's a good reminder of my starting point for the year. Now this layout I made for Pear Tree Cut Files, and this one was documenting a photo of me and Dale and my daughter Tatum, and then my son Devin and his girlfriend Amber, and we chose to see the movie Homestead on Christmas Day. It's a tradition that we always go see a movie on Christmas Day, and that movie was so good. We just all left wanting to see more. So that was a really fun memory from Christmas. And this paper is from Vicki Booten, and I believe this came in my main kit from My Creative Scrapbook. And I did some mixed media on here. I did some stamping. I used a stencil, and I think this one turned out really, really pretty. I was surprised at how this one turned out. I really enjoyed it. Now, these next couple layouts that I have, I made these for Shimmers paints. Now, I am on their design team, so if you place an order with Shimmers paints, you can add my name, Melissa Minor, to the notes section, and you can add my name to every order, and Shimmers will send you a free paint. And what's really nice about that is every time you use my name as a referral, I also get a free paint. So thank you to all of those that used my name. On this layout, I used their January color kits, which I love, and the paints that came in it, and the ephemera. And I used that Oh Happy Day, that was from Color Cast Designs, from their subscription kit that I receive as well. And this is documenting my daughter Tatum putting up her own Christmas tree in her room. She gets really excited to put that tree up every year, so I think this turned out really cute. Okay, this next layout, I also used the Shimmers Paints January color kits. And this is documenting some photos. We went to my boyfriend Dale's work Christmas party, and the girls made some gingerbread houses, and we had this magician come to our table, and at first we were like, what is this guy? He didn't introduce himself as a magician. He just sat down and started talking, so we thought he was kind of creepy because he was talking to the girls, but then, you know, once he got talking, he was really good. He was a magician, and he did some great tricks and even brought in like social media and things. So this was a fun memory to document. And then, of course, at his work party, they have a photo booth. So those are pictures of Dale and I at the photo booth just being silly. So I have a process video for this one, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I think it turned out super cute. I just experimented a little bit with different mixed media techniques. So that's a look at all of the layouts that I made for January. I cannot believe I made 19. Leave me a comment down below and let me know which one was your favorite. I hope I've given you some inspiration to create something new. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!